Okay, for our next type of function, our next function is actually a cube root function. It says f of t is equal to the cube root of t minus 1. Well, just a little quick note about the cube root of a function. Well, if we want to take, let's just deal with numbers. We can take the cube root of actually negative numbers in the real number system, whereas we can't take the square root of negative numbers in negative real numbers. Meaning, if I asked you what was the cube root of negative 8, I'm asking you to go and find me 3 identical numbers that will multiply together to get me negative 8. And of course, those 3 identical numbers will be negative 2. Why? Because negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 gets me negative 8. Whereas I can't do this in the square root function. Say for instance the square root of negative 16. When you want the square root of a number, you're saying go find me 2 identical numbers that will multiply together to get me negative 16. There are no 2 identical numbers that will actually work in this case. You've got 4 and negative 4, but those are not identical numbers, okay? Identical numbers. So that's the problem with restricting ourselves to the real number system when we deal with square roots. So my point is that we can actually take the cube root of negative numbers and non-negative numbers. So what I'm saying is any value of t that you place in here, whether it be positive or negative, will not affect this picture or affect this function. So for the cube root function, my domain will be the set of all real numbers.